What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's Netflix original movie review of Sweet Girl. This movie is directed by Brian Andrew Mendoza. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of the videos, awesome, hit the like button, as well as comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. Okay, so just to let you know, this movie is officially released, so this will be somewhat of a spoiler review. I will give you some of my thoughts of how this movie plays out, but just for the most part, like the usual stuff will be non-spoiler as much as I can. So, Sweet Girl is the story of a character named Ray Cooper, who of course is played by Jason Momoa. He is a father of a daughter who is of course played by Isabela Merced. She and her father are dealing with their mother who has cancer issues, and they're also dealing with the situation that the drug that could possibly help her, or at least battle the cancer, has been bought by this company or built by this company who's raised the price to astronomical things. We have the head of the company who's played by Bartha, who is in essence Martin Shkreli in this movie. He's the guy, Martin Shkreli is the guy, of course, who raised all the prices of that drug that could help a lot of people, and it became a huge major problem. He eventually went to jail. And so what ends up happening, of course, as we know, the mother is unfortunately dies because they can't afford it. And it leads into kind of a conspiracy style movie where he goes on a revenge quest to take down the people that not only raise the prices, but maybe kind of corrupt in a lot of aspects. And then his daughter gets involved and so on and so forth. He unfortunately kills somebody, and it causes the FBI to go on a manhunt against Ray Cooper and his daughter. This movie is a movie that was something I didn't really know anything about. I know Jason Momoa does films in between the DCEU stuff, but he never really does anything I watch, and a lot of stuff he does is not very good. And he has worked with Brian Andrew Mendoza before on a couple other films that aren't very good, I guess you could say. But this was a movie I know Netflix bought because it would be very popular. Jason Momoa is a very popular individual right now, and I thought the trailer was fine. I like Isabela Merced. I think she's a pretty talented actress, and I think Jason Momoa is a very talented, very likable actor. And it's a movie that, seems like that type of film where you go in and you kind of go with it. You don't really worry about the actual plot of the movie, and you know that the story is going to be a little haphazardly done, and it's just going to be a hour and 45 minute popcorn fest or whatever. And for the most part, it is that. I'm going to be fairly honest, it's not a very good movie. It's a very kind of substandard thriller in a lot of aspects. I was a little taken aback for the simple fact of the pharmaceutical stuff because I was not expecting them to go there. That raises a little bit for me, and the fact that they are basically showing how corrupt the American system is and the American government and the pharmaceutical companies. And it's a movie about a guy who goes on a warpath to take down these people, and that makes a lot of sense. You lose your wife. Most people would not do this, but you lose your wife. You're being chased after by the FBI, blah blah blah. You're going to do whatever it takes to take down the corruption. And in essence, this movie Hollywood type scenario. And so with that said, I kind of went with it. I did not hate this movie. I did not love this movie. I thought the action was comparable and comprehensive. And I feel Jason Momoa is a good enough action star that he can sell the action and sell the violence. And Isabela Merced does a nice enough job as being the daughter who kind of is trying to keep her father at bay, but she knows that he's done some really bad stuff. And it's just a movie that goes from like set piece to set piece to set piece. The FBI is kind of in pursuit, and it's a fun, entertaining movie. It has some good stuff in it. It has some good action sequences. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen. It's not the best thing you've ever seen. It's a movie that just has fun with what it's doing. It has some impactful moments. But the thing that kind of made me laugh a little bit about this movie, and this is where I'm going to get to the spoiler territory, just to let you know, if you don't want to hear about it, definitely watch the movie first, come back, all that good stuff. But if you want to know my actual review, I liked it. I had plot problems, all that good stuff. But anyways, so this movie made me laugh when it got to the very conclusion, to the crescendo moment, where throughout the story, we go to the beginning, which is the very beginning when it has the flash forward moment. We see Jason Momoa, we see the FBI main agent. He jumps into the river from the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium. It goes back 6 months, 12 years, whatever the actual date is, it goes back. The mother dies. The Jason Momoa character threatens, of course, the Justin Bartha character, says, "I'm going to kill you if she dies," blah, blah, blah. She dies. 6 months later, they get information from this guy, this source, who they made on a train, the Ray Cooper character. Of course, the Isabela Merced character follows him, even though he says not. The informant and Ray get stabbed, okay? They get stabbed. He looks like he survives. You see where this is going. And so the whole story plays out. We see all the moments, you know, of him taking down the Justin Bartha character, the Ray Cooper character. We see him being attacked by the assassin character, which is pretty useless in this movie. And then it gets to that point where we saw in the beginning with Justin Momoa's character on top of the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium, FBI agent. Then we get Fight Club flashbacks. And then we realize not only did Jason Momoa die at the beginning of this movie, but she has in essence been the Edward Norton character throughout this entire movie, imagining herself, because she's really effed up in the head at this point, that her father was with her the whole time when he's actually dead. So therefore, she killed the Justin Bartha character for revenge of her father and her mother dying because it was a hit put out on the informant. Her father just got kind of in the crosshairs. But she's the one that is being attacked by the assassin. She's the one that's being pursued by the FBI. Yeah, when she talks to the FBI, you realize that she's been, you know, kind of stuck in the outside this motel. She's the one that attacked the main bad guys in the motel, and that's how it plays out. She's the only the one that's alive in this movie, and she's basically effed up in the head, and she's playing out her story thinking her father's with her. And I don't necessarily hate that ending. I just feel it's too Sixth Sense / Fight Club. So it feels a little kind of cliche at this point. It feels a little, you're just doing this to kind of be something special in your movie, and it's really not. I like the fact that Jason Momoa was, you know, being a badass in this movie and so on and so forth. And, you know, it's not that I hate Isabela Merced's character in this movie, but the fact that they just kind of troped it out and just had her be the main protagonist, the one causing all this problem, I couldn't get on board with that at all. I thought it was a plot problem and a half. It doesn't work in any logical reasoning. I think maybe the fact that she was boxing after her father got stabbed, I guess that works, but her father a lot of times is in the forefront and she's in the background, and so we're supposed to think that she is sitting in the background listening to these conversations, and it's just a really weird kind of camera or filming technique that just makes the movie more confusing than it needs to be. This is a movie about revenge, and this is a movie about a father going after the people that are co-conspirators, that are, you know, raising the drug prices and stuff like that. And I just don't feel like the ending was really justified for what it was deserved and what it needed. But it's just a really cheap gag and a really cheap ploy. It really worked in Fight Club because of how original it was and how kind of new it was and how unique it was. But this story doesn't feel like it needs it, so it feels like it's just a tacked on ending that just has some weird moments. And of course the Congresswoman is, you know, shown to be the one that put out the hit and stuff like that. But I don't know, I didn't really care for the ending. I didn't really care for that, you know, reasoning and logic. And maybe I'll be the only one. Maybe people will be like, oh my god, that was the craziest ending I've ever seen. I'm like, yeah, maybe you should watch Fight Club, or, you know, go back to Sixth Sense if you haven't seen that yet. But overall, like I said, it's fun through most of the movie. When it gets to that conclusion, it kind of just falls off the face of the earth. But for the most part, I enjoyed for what I was watching. It was stupid. It was silly. It does try to have some really hard hitting points with drug, you know, pharmaceutical stuff and like that. But overall, you know, I guess it is what it is. But like I said, it's fun. So there you go. Anyways, that'll do it. That'll be my take on Sweet Girl. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What do you think of the overall movie? What do you think of the conclusion now that I've spoiled it? Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.